what are the biggest challenges facing Mayar Capital over the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay. So again, we're talking about the firm now, and the firm has obviously changed a lot over the past 7 years. It used to be me sitting in an office that I sublet by myself in front of a Kappa IQ monitor, reading all day. That was fun, actually, I won't lie. Well, now we have a team, we have a lot of support, and I think that makes us a better firm. We can service our partners better. We can, I think, do better decisions by specializing in the different tasks that are required to run an asset management business. The biggest changes, I think, in the short term is I don't see any changes in our core philosophy, but like we talked earlier, we are always trying to improve how we go about our process. I mean, one thing that we changed recently, I think we have here. So 10 years ago, I had a checklist that was paper-based, which became a nightmare fairly quickly. And then I think 3 years ago, we built it into Excel, which is this, where we have a checklist and we score every question, come up with aggregate scores. You see that this is Expeditors again, where we can, I think, take qualitative factors and turn them into quantitative factors that allow us to think about positions between what we own, between different positions, but also what we own versus what's in our wish list and what's out in the market. And then last year, we invested in building that, we call it a research process system. We called it Project Pronovost after Peter Pronovost, the guy who championed for the use of checklists in ERs in the US. We built this online. So we took our checklist from being Excel-based, we put it online where we have a database behind it, but also a very user-friendly interface that we can access from our laptops, we can access it from our iPads, and answer the questions, but also segregate the tasks. So I can take some of it, Aubrey can take some of it, and Inter can answer some of the questions, and then we build it into, and then aggregate it into the final outcome. So this is an evolution, not a revolution, and I think we continuously have to move in that direction. Some of the work, I mean, one fascinating thing that's happening now that we were just talking about yesterday is what's happening to computing power. Everybody talks just about AI, but actually even just computing power and how it's changing. I mean, think about how running a business today versus 10 years ago and the implications of having cloud, having someone provide you software as a service, and all of these things that did not exist just 10 years ago. A lot is also happening in terms of computing power, and like everybody's talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning. And that will have an impact definitely on the asset management business, on investing. Is it going to revolutionize everything? I don't know. I don't think so. But I think you continuously have to evolve and use the tools that you have. If someone had a typewriter 30 years ago and then word processors came along and said, I refuse to change how I type, I'm going to continue to use my typewriter. Well, they're a lot more efficient with a word processor than a typewriter. And now that it's cloud-based, then it's, again, an evolution of continuous efficiency where, yeah, you can start typing something up on your desktop, leave your office, go home, continue working on the same document where you stopped on your iPad, or do it on the phone. So I think I expect a lot of evolution in how we approach the research process specifically, and how we continuously automate bits and pieces to allow us to focus more on the things that are more qualitative, where our input, our judgment is more important as opposed to our time. So the more we can automate time tasks and free up more time for judgment tasks, the better we will be as investors. And a lot of that, I think, is happening, continue to happen. And then the other thing is, as we grow, we continue to build the team. I mean, we've invested a lot the past year in operations, in onboarding and transitioning to a fully integrated portfolio management system and an order management system. So there's a lot of infrastructure type investments that we have to continue to do. And then we also have to continue to build the team as things evolve and as we grow. So some of you may have seen that we put out a job post. We're looking for an investor relations and marketing person. So that's an area where we're growing just because we've grown from a handful of investors to, I think now we're approaching 100 investors or so. And so we need help in making sure our investors are being taken care of properly and freeing up more of my time so I can focus more on the investing. So again, it's always an issue of how can we free up more valuable time by segregating responsibilities, by bringing in more talent, by diversifying, increasing diversity at the team level, where we can bring different opinions and different ways of approaching the task of investing.